All right, welcome everyone. Super excited for tonight's Zoom as we're going to hear from several different people. We're going to hear from all of the ones that are able to be present. I know a lot had to work tonight and some other stuff going on, but we're going to hear from our top enrollers for our team, the Freedom Forge. So proud of every single one of you guys. We had top enrollers for consultants, top enrollers for customers, and a couple people made both lists, which is awesome. So tonight, I hope you brought your notebooks and can take as many tips down as you can. What's awesome is I know for a fact every single person does things slightly different. So I hope you hear some tips that resonate with you that you can use this month. So we're going to pass it over to Fair first. She's actually got an event she's going to tonight. So we're going to let her go first before she's got to go.
Hey guys, thank you. Yeah, as you can see, I'm in my car. So I'm going to speak a little bit fast and I'm just going to give you guys like 4 quick tips because it really it doesn't take much. It doesn't take a whole lot to be enrolling. So, first one, this is going to be so redundant from here on out, but consistency. If you are consistently posting, if you are consistently in your stories, doing reels, posting on your wall, talking to people, whatever that consistency looks like. I'm literally headed into an event and you guys, I have samples. So, because I'm just constantly, consistently working my business, no matter where it is or what I'm doing. So, consistency is number one. And truly, I know it's going to sound cliche and you guys are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, it's always the same tip." That is the number one tip that anyone can ever give you in your life. In fitness, in business, in anything, consistency is key. So that's number one. The second thing I personally have been doing, and I actually saw a reel on it today that contradicts what I'm about to tell you. So I'm going to tell you how I'm going to tweak it. Is I do the voice memos. I know Brittany does them too. I'm a big fan of letting people hear me, hear my excitement. I just feel as though copy pastes are great, especially if you're new and you're like, I don't know what to say. I freeze up. Those are great. Tweak those even to make it sound like you. Like for me, I say the word y'all a lot. So if anytime I copy paste something, I change it to say y'all instead of you all. But for me, the voice memos go so much further. I dropped a few yesterday. I got 2 new customers yesterday just by dropping a voice memo like, hey, I know you had expressed interest in the ImmunoCal. I would love to get you set up today. I'm running like a personal promo on my own. The company's not doing it, but I'm basically covering their shipping. You don't have to do this, especially if you're brand new and you don't have the funds. It's not a requirement. I actually don't suggest it if you don't have, if you don't have the money to do it. But for me, I've got a little extra to spend. So I was like, I'll reimburse your shipping. I'm sending them $10 back via Venmo, Cash App, whatever. So I did a little voice memo, told them you expressed interest. I'm running a promo. It ends this week. Again, this is just mine. So I'm just making this up. But it created a sense of urgency for them. So create that sense of urgency, even if you're not offering anything. Just be like, hey, I know you wanted to order. I'm putting in orders today until 4 p.m. Would love to get your order in while I'm sitting at my computer. Create that sense of urgency and do it through a voice memo. But I did see a reel today from a business coach, and she was like, I hate really long voice memos. And I was like, oh, okay. So I listened to the whole thing because I was like, guilty. Why? What is she talking about? And she just said basically that like a short one she's good with, but a long one, if she's say walking around, I'm looking at Walgreens. So say she's walking around Walgreens and someone sends her a 3-minute voice memo, she's like annoyed because she's not going to listen to that while walking around Walgreens. So I was like, okay, so keep it short and sweet. That was like something I took away today from a business coach. So keep it short and sweet, but express your excitement, express a sense of urgency. And then the third thing, again, I got this idea last night on the Zoom is selling samples. Like I was giving some away, which duh, like stupid. I'm losing money. But I gave I mean if it's your sister or someone and you want to give a packet away, but when Mike said last night if you sold, I can't even remember. Basically, you could make a $600 kit back if you sold them for like 5-10 bucks a pop. So I decided literally today I'm going to always have a box with me. I'm going to put some in my purse. I'm about to walk into this event and be like, who needs a sample? $5, $10, whatever. You can decide how much you want to charge them for. But I feel like that's gonna, for the people that have expressed interest but they're not ready to jump, I feel like that will do it, especially if they buy a few to where they actually feel it. Of course, I'm going to try to talk people into buying more than one because honestly, taking one, could you feel it? Potentially, yes, but is it really going to change your life in, one day? No. So I'm going to try to talk people into buying a few. So those are my quick tips for y'all. I'm still going to be here. I want to listen and learn, but I got to get into my event.
Thank you so much, Fair, for
Thank
sharing.
you.
I laughed when you said the voice message thing because because we voice message each other long voice messages. I think it's like one of those like preference things. I like how the new iPhone update at least will allow you to read the transcript because sometimes I do get long ones from people and I'll like if I am busy, I'll just like read it real quick. But yeah, voice messaging, like Fair said, is huge because when they hear your voice, it just builds that sense of trust. They can tell you're genuine, you know what I mean? It just really puts some like personal touch on the message. So I'll tell you guys, I always voice message people when it's about the business. If it's about products, I might type the message out, but any single time it's about the opportunity, I always voice message. Like I literally in my entire decade in this industry have never typed something out to a potential consultant. And I've always been a mass enroller with consultants. Like in my last company, I would enroll like 40 a month. And I always like put that on the fact that it's voice message. So if you're in here and maybe you're really great at signing customers, but you haven't really signed distributors yet, I would ask you to look at, are you typing stuff or are you voice messaging? Because it's a business decision. It's like, it's not personal to decide if you want to buy a $20 product or a $30 product or even a $100 product. But it is personal when you're deciding like, do I want to go into business with this person? Do I trust this person to mentor me and teach me and show me the way? So I want you to look at it like that when you're like thinking about just quickly typing something when it's a potential consultant, like they're actually making a business decision to join you. So that's even more reason they should hear your voice and trust you from the get-go. So if you're one of those people that doesn't feel comfortable voice messaging, I would encourage you like to help rip the band-aid off, like start voice messaging, even just me or Nicole or Fair, like whoever enrolled you, start sending voice messages with them so you get comfortable with it, because what's going to happen is then you're going to be like, okay, this isn't that big of a deal, and you'll start doing it and it'll be easy peasy. So let's pass it over to Nicole. You are freaking killing it this month. You were already a top enroller last month, and this month you're number one in the whole company right now, which is freaking insane. So proud of you. So share all your tips with everybody.
Okay, so hey everyone. I'm taking it back to consistency. And like Fair said, it could be like, oh my God, and that's all we ever hear, but it's so important. And I am reminded how important it is right now. So with that being said, Immunotech opens. I've been very excited about the product since day one, but I would post here and there and I'd be like, okay, if they're interested, like they'll reach out, like whatever. And this is from a top income earner in the last company that was always enrolling, doing really well. This is coming from someone who knows this. I know consistency is everything. And I would still throw up a post here. If they're interested, they'll let me know. April 1st, I don't know what it was. Something just like, I don't know what it was, but I have been so consistent and the website says 8 customers. I'm pretty sure it's been 9 customers just by literally being consistent. And I'm like, oh my God, I know this. And I've always known this. But until I started doing it, I really was reminded how important it is. People are watching, and it's going to take several times of them seeing it till they're like, you know what? I've got to try this. I went over to my friend's house today. She just had twins. She has 6 kids. Her life is insane right now. And she's like, all I want is your vitamin D supplement. I see it all the time, and my husband needs the Immunical Sport. And she's like, I just need like 5 minutes where I can just sit down and do it. I'm gonna do it tonight when these babies go to sleep. I see you posting it every day, and every day I'm like, I need to find 5 minutes. So like every day I'm in front of her, every day I'm reminding her, and she's gonna get it done when she has the second. But if I was just like here and there, it's so important, and I'm seeing the results of being consistent, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I ever like forgot this. Um, Another thing is, and I say this every single time, but just being you and getting on there and posting stuff. So I've been doing some coaching calls, and everyone's like, I just like don't feel like I look too good or like I'm put together. 90% of the people that are watching your stuff, maybe even more, are not put together. They're not looking their best. That is going to resonate with people. Now, with that being said, could you get ready one day and batch a bunch of content? Absolutely. I still encourage you to do that. But don't hold yourself back from being consistent, because what's it going to take to get to mass enroll customers and mass enroll, and not even mass enroll, just to enroll customers or consultants? Consistency. That's always going to be your number one thing, consistency. So if you're not getting ready every day, and you're holding yourself back from being consistent, it's a snowball effect. It's okay if you don't look put together. It's okay. People are not thinking of that. If your excitement comes through on that camera of how you're feeling, Courtney, my friend today, she's like, you literally have so much energy. It blows my mind. Like you're 9 months pregnant and you're fucking running circles around people. I'm like, dude, it works. And I'm showing people that by being consistent. So get on there, show your face, be excited. Don't just be like, yeah, the vitamin D is like really good. Like I'm fired up. I'm like in my car screaming. Um, Consistency, just getting out there and doing the dang thing. Um, Excitement, consistency. I
Well,
can't say that one enough.
you hit on no excuses, Nicole. I feel like that was a part of your thing. No excuses.
No excuse. There no excuses, literally. Like when you start looking at these when you take them and you truly feel good, you'll start looking at the products as if you are doing your followers a disadvantage by not sharing them. And I always used to say that, no excuses. Like, if you want people to, if you truly did this because you want people to feel better, there's no excuse to not tell them about the products. There's no, oh, I was too busy at work or the kids are too crazy. Get on there and make a video of you taking Sunray or mixing up your body shot and like the kids are screaming in the background and laugh about it. And like, there's no excuse. If you want this to be something big, you want this to be legendary, there isn't an excuse that will ever get in the way of it. So write down your why, figure out why you're doing this, and just get out there and do it. Show your face, do all the things. And that's, I mean, truly, that's all it takes is just getting out there and showing people. We have an untapped market, guys. There is how many people in North America, and we are the first group of people to tell them about this product. They might not, we always used to say, like, people want to watch. They want to watch for a little bit. That's where the consistency comes in. But remember, like, it might take someone a month of watching you being consistent, and then they're like, okay, I'm sold on this. This is brand spanking new. It is up to us to tell people about it. So just get out there and do the damn thing. I don't know. That's all. And be excited. I voice message everything pretty much. I try not to go over like 2.5 minutes is like pushing it. It's really tough when you're talking about the body shop because I get really excited about it and then I'm like talking. But I even in like vitamin or Sunray vitamin D supplement, whatever, like I'll just be like, can I send a quick voice text? And I'll just tell them how it makes me feel, how my customers it's making them feel, and giving them testimonies in my voice, not just like the scripted out thing. I promise you, like Fair said, just go for it. Just send the voice text. You'll get more comfortable. None of us joined. First of all, we didn't even have voice text when we joined, but none of us joined like with this confidence to just get out there and do it. You learn by just doing it, and you're going to mess up and you'll like laugh. Like today I was voice texting someone and I said something. I'm like, I totally didn't even mean that. And it's funny and people are going to laugh and then you just keep going and it makes it more realistic. So voice texting is another huge thing of mine.
I love it. And yeah, Nicole, when you said you think you really have 9, so I don't know if you know this, but I will just tell everybody the website, the count doesn't change if it's a retail customer. So if you had a customer that didn't do subscribe and save, that's probably what it is.
I actually thought that.
Yeah, they only count it if it's subscribe and save. So you probably have more than that and it's just not counting them. But yeah, consistency, you guys, you're going to hear this, I'm sure, from many people tonight. We all need the reminder. So I love that you're hearing everybody say, yeah, I love that like Nicole is, not just a leader on this team, but like has been a, network marketing professional her entire, probably the majority of your adult career, I would imagine. And you're very vulnerable and said, like, I woke up April 1st and just realized like, I need to be consistent. And it's not that you weren't consistent in March, but you just got more consistent. And like, we all need that reminder, like none of us are immune to like finding ourselves, like having a week where we're like, I did not do my best this week. Like, I'm going to crank it back into high gear. And the important thing is that you do that you catch yourself and you do that. And be real. Like Nicole said, there's no excuses to not be consistent. Like I used to be one of those people that always thought I had to post when I had my makeup done and my hair done and all that. And I've just come to realize, especially with my health stuff the last like 6 months, like I just don't care that much. Like people are still going to buy from me. They're still going to be inspired and want to join. Like why overcomplicate it? You know what I mean? Like today was a work from home day. I don't have any makeup on. I just literally threw my lip mask on before the Zoom started and that's it. But like I still did some stories of K21 a little bit ago. Like you don't have to look perfect. You just need to be real. You need to be relatable. And like, you know, like Nicole said, some days it's nice to get ready and batch a ton of content. We're not saying that, but we're saying on the days that you did have a work from home day and you didn't, it's okay. Like nobody expects you to look like a beauty pageant queen, you know, every day in your stories. Like nobody's thinking like that. So
I had a coaching call. I said, like what you put in the caption in the product is what you're selling. Like, of course you're selling yourself too, but when that is powerful and you're really excited about the product, it doesn't freaking matter what you look like. Like even and you still probably look beautiful. Like I think we all this is another self-development thing. Like I have confidence through the roof. It doesn't matter like what I look like. And I hope that all of you guys, and I learned that through my last company with all the self-development that I did.
Yep.
Every single day I learned like dude, no one could stop me. And I feel that way and I believe that way. So this is another thing I encourage you guys really do your self-development because you'll get to a point where like you think you look just as pretty without makeup, with makeup. And
Yep.
that's where really powerful things are going to start to happen. So self-development too. I know sometimes it's like, especially when you're newer into the industry, it's like, oh, that's corny. It's not. And it is really, really powerful how you can train your mind and change your mind. And that's when magic happens, truly.
Yep. Absolutely. And I want to say something about that, and then we're going to pass it to Katina and hear her tips. Joe and I are in a networking group local here in our town, and that's actually where we met a few years ago. And he was actually representing a different business at the time, and I was representing my social media management firm. And now we talk about this there. But in that networking group, there are tons of different business owners, you know, real estate agents, title agents, roofers, plumbers, you name it, bookkeepers, all the things. And what's crazy is the businesses that are struggling, I'm not even kidding you. This was a real conversation probably about 3 months ago, mock self-development. So I do training in the group and they always ask me when it's social media training days to do the social media days. And one of the things I was talking about was like, if you feel like you don't have anything inspiring to say on social media, then like start doing some self-development. Like you'll find things to naturally like talk about when you're constantly reading a new Audible book or you're always watching things on YouTube. And it's funny because the old president of the group, it's changed now. Her business has been, you know, no secret, been struggling for like the last year and a half. To the point where she's had to lay people off and all the things. And she stood up right after I said that and was like, yeah, well, some of us don't have time to do that. So for those of you that don't have time, like just, you know, do your prayers at night and that's good. And I was just like, saying your prayers and doing self-development are not the same thing. But like Joe and I talked when we got in the car, we're like, it's just ironic because the people that were clapping and were like, amen, they're the ones that like their businesses, you know, passed $1 million last year. And then the ones that were like kind of rolling their eyes. And then that comment that was made from the old president, like their businesses are struggling. So like the proof is in the pudding. Like when you do self-development, like it is amazing, like how much your business will skyrocket and soar. My highest year in income in our last company, I hit almost $500,000 for that year. And that year I read 72 books. And I do not think it's any coincidence that the year I read the most books was the year that I made the most money in a year. And so I'm sharing that to say, like, if you haven't been reading anything, just start reading something. If you have been reading one a month, start trying to do one a week. Like one a week's, that's my goal is always one a week. And if it's a short book, I might get more, you know, more than one done, but that's my goal. And it's, you know, I don't beat myself up if it takes me 2 weeks to read one, but like just strive for something. You know, if you're not striving for anything, you're not going to hit it. But you've got to grow to continue to go up. And if you're growing constantly and showing up to Zooms and, you know, constantly digging in, you are going to go up. It's only a matter of when, it's not a matter of if. So, Katina, let's pass it over to you. I know you're trying to like time it with your break for work, and I'm so thankful you're able to be on to share with everyone tonight. You're muted.
No, I'm not. So I agree with everybody. Consistency, consistency, consistency. I work from home, so there are a lot of days I don't have makeup on, a whole lot. Like I got up during my lunch and did my bath and put makeup on for this. But so I just like a lot of my stuff, I'm always just I'd never go to bed without posting. That is a big thing for me. If it is midnight or 1 a.m., I will still post something. I do have a couple of things that I keep in my stock stuff so that I can just be quick if I have a really bad day. But I try to take a picture every day of drinking the Body Shot because I've got more. Absolutely, I have gotten more questions, comments, and customers like or people interested from just the whole like just seeing me drinking it every day. So be the product of the product is one thing that Brittany has always told us, be the product of the product. So that's one. And then just attitude. I mean, I can be a grumbly old girl some days, but I just try to present that I have a good attitude on my posts. Um, and if people ask me things and just try to go be kind, I mean, kindness is a big thing for me. I don't like people to be unkind to other people. And so I'm just kind to other people. And I try to just express that when I'm talking to people, and I do the voice messaging like everybody says. Plus, if it's somebody I know, and I will say, are you busy? If they're not busy, I will pick the phone up and call them and just have an actual conversation. I did that with somebody who had alpha gal who's going to eventually be a customer, just trying to get past a couple of other things before she can do it. But she just had a lot of questions, and I got on and I spent like 30 minutes on the phone with her just trying to answer the questions. The things I didn't know, I just honestly asked Brittany or ask in the chat if somebody knew, or I looked it up. So those are my things, just trying to be really consistent and attitude, kindness, and be a product of the product. And I do my self-development every day. I just listen to it while I'm working. When I'm not on the phones, I'll just put on a podcast or put on a book. Right now I'm still finishing Let Them because I got away from it into something else for a few weeks. But and I also like some money books. There's some books about money that just change your mindset about money, which really helped me to change my mindset about how to go about this business. So those are my big things.
I love that so much, Katina. The Let Them theory book is phenomenal. I cannot recommend that enough. Marcella and I actually were in the car together with Joe, my husband, and Megan, who I just saw her on here. She might have got kicked off. But we all listened to it together. We were actually going to Houston for launch, and it was so good. It's one of those books I'll definitely listen to it a second time, probably later in the year. I highly recommend if you're someone that really gets bothered by things people do that don't make sense, like maybe someone just, just rubs you the wrong way, or like a family member just does something that's really hurtful or confusing or whatever. Like this book really puts it in perspective that like, it's okay. Like let people be who they're going to be. It's indicative of them, not you. And then money books. So I'm so glad that you brought that up, Katina, because if you're thinking like in a scarcity mindset, you'll find that you never really grow past a point that you believe is possible for you to actually earn income wise. And one thing I want to share with y'all before I pass it to Netta here in just a second is, say you were raised in a family that, was really poor. That's no fault of your own, but like whether you realize it or not, it can affect your mindset about money. And you can have like a really small belief of what's possible for you. You might be like a confident person, you might be the sweetest person ever, all the good things, but like you might subconsciously not think that you're capable of earning money because of the way your parents talked about money. And you don't even realize how those things affect you. Like your parents are always fighting about money, or, they were watching every single dollar. That bleeds over onto you as a kid because you feel that anxiety, you feel that tension about money. So some books that I really love are I'm a Badass at or You're a Badass at Making Money. The You're a Badass book by Jen Sincero is really good in and of itself, but then You're a Badass at Making Money is really good. If you don't want your kids to hear cuss words, don't listen to it around your kids. Like my kids are getting older, so like I'll play it in the car with them. But like if you got little kids, maybe don't listen to it. There's quite a few F-bombs dropped. But it is a really, really good book. And
the psychology of sorry, before I go, the psychology of money is a very good book. I did the audio book because I always do the audiobooks, but the psychology of money and the Millionaire Next Door.
Millionaire Next Door.
Those two were two that I really took a lot away from and listening. And it has actually helped me to begin to decrease quite a bit of debt. Now I'm 51. I wish that at 51 I was in a way different place, but I'm working towards that now. And it's like you say, with your parents, that's how it was growing up. My mom was always a single mom, so for most of my memorable life. And so yeah, I mean, I totally, the money books put me in a totally different space.
Yeah, and I just dropped those in the chat. Thank you for sharing those, Katina. I have not read either of those, so I'm going to add those to my Audible. I do Audible everything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very big on like done is better than perfect, and I know it will take me longer to get through a book if I sit and read it, versus because of everything I've got going on. But like, I can listen to a book when I'm driving. I can listen to a book when I'm in the shower, when I'm doing my makeup, and so that's how I like to take in my self development. Someone put in the chat, Rich as Fuck by Amanda Francis is a good one as well. So yeah, y'all just write all these ones in the chat. I also love, I put in the chat, The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. So I've listened to that back in our old company, and I listened to it again recently, like probably 2 months ago. And I was like picking, you're always picking up new things when you listen to a book a second time. And one of the things that he said, and I think shared it in one of the team chats or the team page or something, but he actually said in there that if you are like just, I don't want to say a nobody because that sounds not nice, but that's not what I mean. Like if you're just a nobody, like you're not already with the company or anything like that, you're just a normal person. And you're like, how could I become a millionaire the fastest? He literally says network marketing is the fastest way to do it. He's like, you have no overhead, you have no risk, you have like very small entry cost. He's like, that is the fastest way fastest sure way you could become a millionaire. He's like, you go start a bunch of businesses that you possibly could be a millionaire, but you're going to need capital. There's risk. You're going to have to like work a lot harder to acquire clients. And he literally talks about network marketing as being one of the easiest ways because you have social media at your fingertips. You can network in person and there's just no risk. Like, it doesn't matter even if it took you 5 years. Like one thing I used to tell people, and Nicole and Fair and I's last company, and a lot of you guys are that company too, I know. But one thing I used to tell people was like, even if like there was 8 ranks in that company. Okay. So this applies to this company. I can't remember how many ranks are in this company, but let's just pretend it's 8. Even if you went so slow, like so slow, and you only promoted once a year, which most people promote more than once a year, but like, let's pretend that you were just so slow once a year, you would still be making you would be a millionaire in 8 years. You'd be making a multi 6-figure annual income in 8 years. So like the way I used to always put it to people is like, even if you think that you're not good at this and it's going to take you longer than everybody else in 8 years, if you're making a multi 6-figure annual income and you've already hit $1 million, like, wouldn't that be worth it? And when you put in that perspective, people are like, oh yeah, I didn't think it's like, it's not a race. Like some of you will go faster than others. That is just the way this goes. And it's not because anyone's doing anything right or wrong. It's just like some of us are going to take off faster. But like when you look at it in that perspective, it takes a lot of pressure off and you can start enjoying the journey and being like, you know what, I'm going to get there. Like, who cares if I get there first, as long as I get there and I don't stop, it's hard to beat someone that doesn't quit. So I cannot agree enough. Read books that are going to grow your money mindset because we just don't realize how often our mind is affected by the way we were raised and all of that. And when you can start evolving your mindset about money, I promise you're going to find that you start attracting a lot more money to you. I also like to write things on like my mirror, like, money flows frequently and easily to me. When I write my affirmations, I write like, I'm a money magnet, like money loves me and I love money. I have, more than what I always receive exactly what I need and more. Tons of things. Like I write my income goals, like I earn well over $100,000 a month. So I just encourage you, like, if money's like your money mindset is an issue, start writing affirmations. Like I just said, if you want to text me later, I'm happy to share some with you. But start writing money affirmations, write something money related on your mirror and start listening to some books that are going to, expand your financial blueprint. Cause I promise you it will make the world of a difference. So okay, let's go ahead and pass it over to Netta. Netta was both a top consultant enroller last month and a top customer enroller. And she's been so consistent, which has been the theme tip from everyone so far. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear from her.
Hi guys. Sorry, I'm never home, so I'm cooking for the family the one night I'm home. So I travel for a living a lot, and it's very difficult. I have extremely like demanding job, and it was very hard to be consistent, to be honest, especially when I didn't know the product so well. So I'm like, what am I gonna say? Like I have to memorize all of this, and because I'm a science background, so so for those that are like a little bit geeky like me, I want to know everything about something before I talk about it. And I think what helped me was but first of all, seeing all of your posts, you know, Brittany, Nicole, Fair, like it was so helpful to see your posts and being just able to copy it and maybe so I just feel like as a beginner, if you don't know, don't be afraid of sorry, my corners. Don't be afraid to copy paste. Don't be afraid to like get ideas. Like I literally get ideas from you guys all the time. And like last night, I think it was like 1:30 in the morning that I was just like, okay, I can post like 7 stories, and I know it's going to be there until for 24 hours, so it doesn't matter what time you post it, right? I like I would take a second body shot if I didn't have time to do the first one video. And I'm like, it's not gonna hurt me, so I'm just gonna take a second one. And it's been the consistency is so important. But I also think it's like I was very discouraged last month because I was, I don't know, 97% or whatever before hitting silver, and I didn't. And I got very discouraged. And for a couple of days, I was just like, okay, I need to get back out of my funk. And I think it's so important to have, like everybody said, that self development and having a group that is going to encourage you. I know Brittany reached out to me and sent me a text, and I was like, thanks for encouraging friend, message friend. And it was just, knowing that, like Brittany said, it's not a race, and we all gonna get there, but also having each other to be able to like reach out to and say, hey, I'm having a very hard week. And just knowing that we are not alone, because network marketing is not the easiest thing in the world, like it's not, I mean, at least for me, it's not, like I can sell you $5 million equipment but doing network marketing of just going out on your own. So I feel like having that community that we can trust and we can depend on, and we can come together like this Zoom call. It's encouraging that, what, we are in this together, and there's this still so much time left. It's not like, I think I jumped into Terra, guys, like literally like almost when they were already 10 years into it. So it was kind of like the market was saturated with, consultant, and we have a ground floor opportunity. So it's just knowing that we're gonna get there, like Brittany said, like it's a matter of when and not if. And um and and also I think it's very important not to be afraid to talk to people, because you don't want to seem like a salesperson. And I think that's very hard for newbies, especially because you're just like, oh my god, I don't want my friends to be like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person because everything she does is like try to sell me. I have been talking to one of my girlfriends about immunotech since it started. Guys, she got pneumonia. We went to Costa Rica together. She got sick when we got back for 10 days. She was on antibiotics. I kept telling her, I'm like, babe, just take mine. I don't even care. You don't even have to buy it from me. Just take my stuff. And and she got antibiotic. And I'm in healthcare. I'm sitting there. I'm telling her all this stuff. And she got better for 2 days. Her antibiotic, and then she is sick again today. She messaged because people people are craving for something natural to help them. We are sick, we are tired, and it's becoming the norm. And so don't be afraid of talking to people, and just like I believe Nicole mentioned, like it becomes like almost obligation. Like if you know something works, you have to share it, and don't be afraid. And just, you know, if somebody feels like, oh, you want to sell me something, then honestly, they probably have other issues. Like, don't worry about it. And but those are just my tips. I mean, I um I um I am making a big decision and making a big change in my life. I am quitting my 18-year career, walking away from a six-figure salary to become an entrepreneur full time. So my last day is April 24th, and I am like so excited. Um, I am very, very glad that we have this community though. Like, I think you women, you ladies are incredible. And thank you so much for letting me like follow your lead and copy from you. So that was my spiel.
I love it, Netta. And I'm so proud of you. I know it's a big, leap of faith, but I know it's going to be one that pays off, in spades for you. And I just love that you already have that belief in what you're doing, and that's one thing that is so, so powerful. Like, whether you believe you can or can't, you're right. You guys know I do like the colored background inspirational posts every morning. The one that I'm going to put up tomorrow morning is going to say, optimists tend to be successful, pessimists tend to be right. And I think that's so powerful because, like, if you think you can't, you're right. You're not going to be able to. But like, the reason that successful people tend to all be optimists is because when you believe you can, that's a very powerful thing. And so I just want to encourage you guys to like take that little bit of belief away from Netta, and from her testimony, because when you believe you can, like, that just makes a world of a difference in the results that you're going to have. And like she said, utilize the team, utilize your support system. We're all here for each other. That's why we've got the chats and we've got the, I know last month we did the daily challenges. Today it's a little, or this month it's a little bit different, but kind of still the same thing. We got the weekly kind of guide to guide you, and we got the boom contest and all this fun stuff. Like, when you lean into that energy, it's contagious, and you're going to find that not only does it pump you up and fire you up, but it bleeds over, like Nicole was saying, when she's like screaming in the car, voice messaging people about Sunray, like, it bleeds over to people that are watching you and people you're talking to. And they're like, I want to be a part of that. I literally had people join me, guys, in our last company, and I know Nicole would say the same, that literally joined for the friendships. They didn't need the money, or they didn't care about money. One of the two. There's definitely two different people. There's some people, they need the money, but they don't care about money. And then there's people that, like, they don't really need the money. They're fine. Their husband already makes really great money, but they're joining because they want the friendships. They want to be a part of like a community that's so uplifting. They see the potential for growth. So I really love that was a big part of what you shared, Netta. And I also love that you shared, ask. And Katina, you said this too. Like, if you don't know something, ask. Like, there's plenty of people on this team that will be willing to help you get the answers. And I love even when y'all have asked stuff in the chat, and like, one, Nicole and Farah and I haven't had a chance to get to it yet, but then I see that like Michelle answered something for someone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. Because if you know the answer, like, we're all here to support each other. And like, a leader is not a leader because of rank. They're a leader because of the way they show up and they lead. And you could be literally not even have promoted yet and be a more incredible leader than someone that has, because of your attitude and your presence and your consistency. So, okay.
And the
Anna?
only other thing I want to say, guys, I've been going to sleep with Secret of Manifestation. Just it is amazing. Like, I just fall asleep with it, and I feel like subconsciously it helps so much, because you still absorb things when you're sleeping, and you're retraining your brain. So if you don't mind sleeping with something that is motivational, and you're busy during a day, it's really helpful. I mean, in a psychology word, it's so helpful to go to sleep with that. And that's it. Sorry.
I love it. Netta, can you drop that in the chat? And then if you want to text it to me, I can put it, and I can have it if anybody else asks for it, to like put it in the team chat or whatever too.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I'll do
yeah,
that.
it's probably not the same one you're talking about, so I want to try whichever one you have. But Joe and I do that some nights. We'll fall asleep to like a money meditation, and it's very like low key. It's nothing that's gonna like Netta said, like, you can sleep to it. It's kind of like white noise, but like, it's just like coming into your brain, like your subconscious, like while you're sleeping, which I love. So, okay, so Anna's putting her baby down. If she is available in the next few minutes, we'll pass it to her. But Nicole, did you have any other tips that you thought of while everyone else is sharing that you wanted to share?
Not particularly. I mean, it just comes, it's consistency, being out there, doing it. I did, I'll share this. This is something that I did in my last company, and I just literally put it on my Instagram last night. But if you want to go take a look, I used to have like what I called an influencer application, um, where I would post like my normal post, and then I would say fill out my influencer application in my bio. And I did a coaching call today, and we were like, maybe we should do one for products as well. So again, this is something I put up last night. It worked really well with the past company, so I can't imagine it wouldn't work with this. But if you guys, it takes a bit to make one. I have a milkshake on my page, which has links, and then it's a Google
A Google form.
form. It's a Google
Yeah.
form. Okay. Google form, and you can create it, and like it's so cool. So I don't know, this isn't really about enrolling and all of that, but it could help. And I love it with potential consultants because you get to get a little glimpse of them. Like on mine, you'll see if you go look, something like, are you a mom? Do you go to school? Like you get to learn a little bit more about them before you even start connecting with them. And then again, I have not made a customer one yet, but I think I'm going to make a customer one with how do you feel? It pulls stuff out of people, which makes an upsell really a lot easier because you know that they are X, Y, and Z, and they're struggling with this, this, and this. And it makes it a lot easier to figure out what products to share to them. Because some people, like I've seen some people have just links to our website in their bio. And what's tough about that is we have a lot of products and it could be really overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me to figure out what I want in my auto shipment each month. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff on here. I want everything. So for a customer who doesn't even have any background, I can't imagine how overwhelming all of the products could be. So that's just something fun that I'm doing that takes some time so you guys can go and play with it and see what it looks like and whatever. But be consistent, get out there, be a product of the product and self-development. And you guys, when you truly believe that you can do it, you'll do it. And it's really powerful.
I love that. And yeah, it's so funny, Nicole. We're like in sync. So in our last company, I had the Google form Nicole's talking about too for consultants, not for customers. And I would always drop it in like the comments on Facebook. And then it was in my milkshake bio on Instagram. So when I would make a post on Facebook, I would say, like instead of like I said text opportunity, but I would say like text opportunity or fill out the influencer application in the comments. And then on Instagram, I would say, or fill out the influencer application in my bio. And I'm telling you guys, like the amount of people that fill that out are crazy because, and like Nicole said, and I'll find mine because I was actually thinking I need to find mine and like revive it and start using it again. But like once I pull mine up, I'll try to do that tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow, I'll share it with you guys. But like Nicole said, there's like questions. It's like, are you a mom? If so, how many kids do you have? Do you currently work full time or do you stay home? Like, so you get to know a lot about them. And then it said like, what made you reach out to me? What goals do you have the most? How would this business help you the most? So like some people will write like pay off debt. Some people will write like my husband works long hours, but like whatever they write, it gives you a glimpse into what's going on with them. So, and also they have to put their phone number. And you can put, how did you find me, like Instagram or Facebook? That way, you know which one it came from, which is kind of cool because then, like, oh, am I getting more interest on Instagram or Facebook? But then once you text them, and you say like, hi, I got your influencer application. This is Brittany. So excited to tell you more. I'm going to send you a voice memo. And then you can voice message them, but you can like incorporate in your voice message what you read on that form. Like, so I'm a stay-at-home mom too. I'm so excited to tell you more. Or, oh, I was working full time whenever I started this business. It's allowed me to come home. I'm so excited for you. Like whatever it is, you can
Gives
personalize it.
you a whole new opportunity to really get to someone, to
Yep.
really get to their why. It's really
Yep.
powerful.
And it makes follow-ups that more powerful because if they set on there like, oh, this business would allow me to quit my job. I cry every time I have to drop my baby off at daycare. when you voice message them, if they don't sign right away, when you follow up with them on Fridays, you can be like, hey, like, I'm so excited to help you be able to come home. I know that's a big goal of yours this year. It just makes that follow up so much more personal. And what I found was those were the people I signed the most, which is why, like, I had a light bulb moment a couple days ago and I was like, I need to go pull my Google form back out. So I love that, Nicole, you brought that up too. That's awesome.
And
So
something that I did in my milkshake, make it enticing. Like mine says, I used to have like just for the tab influencer application. Now I have request to join our team because like you want it you want it to sound fancy. Like and in my thing I said something like, and if we decide this is a good fit for you, like it's not a good fit for everyone. It could be, but sometimes it's not. But just putting that in there just makes it more enticing. Like, I want this. What do you mean this isn't a good fit for me? So
yeah,
little words like that can kind of really trick the brain as well.
yeah. One thing that you just made me think of too was I put on mine at the one of the bottom things was um how much time are you willing to dedicate a day to this? And it said like less than 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours. And then one said like as much time as it takes. And it's crazy how many people will put as much time as it
Yep.
takes. And then there's definitely people that put less than an hour. And I'm like, all right, I mean, I can work with that. But it does show you like how much they want it. The people that are like as much time as it takes. And then they also wrote like, need to come home this year, so sick of leaving my kids. Like you have all the information you need. They're probably going to kill it. They're going to be teachable. They're going to be willing to run. They're going to do everything you teach them to do. So yeah, Katina said we need to do a milkshake Zoom. Yeah, we can definitely maybe incorporate that in the second Zoom this month, Katina, because milkshakes are awesome. I would encourage everyone, if you don't have a milkshake, to go ahead and download the milkshake app. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And go ahead and start playing around with it. There's templates that you can use. So even if you haven't completed it, if you go ahead and have it downloaded it and you've played around with it, it's going to make it that much easier if we do a Zoom on it, that like you'll have at least already have it and like can do some stuff. But yeah, I love milkshake so much because it looks professional. It's pretty, but you can really personalize it, make it your own. I do have links for some of the products in mine, just the ones I talk about the most, because I have found that sometimes people will just go click and like see if it's in there. If you talk about something a lot and just order it. So you can do that too. And I also have the direct link to like where it has the enrollment packs to join as a consultant too. So Shannon just said making the milkshake is super simple. Don't be intimidated. I did mine while I was putting my baby to bed one night. Yeah, it really is very user friendly because they have templates. So you kind of just pick the template that you like, the one that aesthetically matches your vibe. And then you can, customize it from there. You can put your picture in, you can write stuff.
And the Google form
yeah.
is the same way. Like I was on with Anna today, and it's a template. So it's like, just follow it. Don't be intimidated. It's so easy.
Yeah. And for milkshake, what I like doing, and this is not right or wrong, it's just my preference, take it or leave it, but I like doing 2 slides because you can swipe through. So I have 2. The first one is a picture of me and has my story of like what this industry has done for me, because that story is going to resonate with people. Like when I say, I was losing my hair from stress and anxiety. I wasn't sleeping at night because we were in so much debt, blah, 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 blah. And then I found this opportunity, and then I start naming all the things it did for me. People that are in that boat, like that are, tired of living paycheck to paycheck, they're going to read that. And when they start reading that first part of my story, they're going to be like, that's me. And then when they read the success, they're going to be like, that's what I want. And then when you go to the next slide, it has the link to join. Like, it's like, if you're ready to join me, click this link right away. And then it's got links to products and things like that. But I find that, and I have a link to add me on Facebook, because I'm like, hey, if you want to follow me on Facebook too, that's just more places you're going to see my stuff, But yeah, definitely look at Nicole's, look at mine, look at anyone else on the team that already has one made, because it will definitely get your wheels turning and give you some ideas. So I know this wasn't planned, and Michelle, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but you have your camera on and I just feel like you're going to be okay with it. Michelle, you have had I feel like major turnaround. You joined this business excited, but I feel like the last couple of weeks there's been a shift. I've just noticed a shift in you. And I wanted you to just share a couple tips, if you don't mind, of just like what you've done to get to that point. How excited you are now, and like the seeds that you're planting, because I know that you have been super consistent, even when you feel like maybe it's not working or you haven't seen the fruit. And I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I observe you and I see all your stuff, and I know that you're showing up no matter what. So I would love for you to just share a couple things, like a couple aha moments you've had, and what you're excited about for April.
Okay, so like you said, I had a shift in mindset after last month. I really dug my heels in towards the last like week or two, being consistent about listening to The Strangest Secret. And one of the things that really stuck out to me is that like I'm in my own way. And in the last business that I was in, one of the things that like honed in on was self-development. And I thought that after I left the business, I was still this positive, outgoing person and that I really poured into myself like I needed to be. But over the years of not being in network marketing, and I kind of stopped doing self-development, and I kind of lost that sense of um I don't know, like fulfillment. You know, I feel like ever since I started with this, listening again, it's like healing in a way. And I noticed that I was just being so negative. I would be like, "Oh, I can't do this. I can't. I'm struggling." I was framing it in such a negative way that I was like, I need to get out of my own way because the only person stopping me is me. And so I really was like, no, no more. And even Katina had reached out to me and she was like, what are you doing different? Because you are on fire right now. And I was just, it's all about mindset. It literally is not worrying about perfection. Even if I'm not posting as consistently as I want to be, I'm stockpiling. I'm making content. I have 1,000 photos holding one product in several different ways to make sure it catches the light the right way. And I may only use 2 of those pictures and use them a couple weeks apart, but I'm still making it and thinking about, oh, while I take my body shot, let me take a picture. Or if my kids are taking their gummies, I take a picture of that, or I take a video of it. So I'm just trying to use the time that I have and use like make content as I can because I'm still balancing my husband being freshly back from deployment and having 5 kids, ages like 12 down to 1. And then I focus on what I can give to my audience, whether it be something that's relatable, being vulnerable, sharing my story, being funny or inspirational. I just try to be as real as I possibly can and put something out that can be relatable where somebody's like, oh, that's funny, or oh, I get that, or I love that. So whether it's business related or not, I'm getting like engagement and I'm growing solid connections. And that is more important to me than just getting a bunch of likes because the likes don't really carry over. But if somebody's actually engaging with me, then that shows like I have this one lady that I'm talking to, and she noticed like I was sharing about how not about abusive family members and everything, but I was like, you don't need people that are toxic in your life. And she related to that. And now we are constantly back and forth. She was the first person that reached out business wise. She's like, I need info. What are you doing? So it's just those genuine connections and just really, really, really about your mindset and just focusing on you because you are there at the end of the day, morning, noon, and night. So if you're pouring into yourself, you can pour so much more out to everyone else.
Absolutely. I love that so much. And I'm so proud of you because I know you have been navigating a lot. And every time you and I talk, like you're actively trying to find solutions for it, which has really stood out to me a lot. And that's where I really noticed, I guess, like a shift in you is like, you want solutions. You're like, okay, this is a problem. Like, what's your advice on how to fix it? And then you're not just like asking advice, you're also implementing it, which is so huge because we all know like it's easy to ask somebody what to do, but it's like a whole nother step to actually implement it. So I just want you to know I'm so proud of you. And I know with that mindset, April's going to be an absolutely amazing month for you. So, and I can't wait to watch it.
Thank you.
Of course. And Marcella, I'm putting you on the spot too, because your camera's on and you've been so consistent despite working full time, being a single mom, not just to your daughter, but you also are, you know, a huge role in your niece's life. And I would argue like a primary caretaker to her too. And you've got a lot going on and you're showing up and doing, oh, we got someone else joining. We admit them. You're showing up to Crunch Fitness, doing, you know,
Yeah.
cool there and also being super consistent on social media too. So I would just love for you to share like anything you've learned through this journey and what you're excited about April, you know, for April and that you're committed to doing, implementing, anything you feel led to share.
I think the main thing for me right now is doing it when I think of it.
Yeah.
And I struggle with that a lot in the past. I would always think, oh, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, even if it's like for like a friend, oh, I'm gonna get them a cake, but then I never do it. So I've committed this year to just thinking when I think about it, just do it in that moment. Even if you write it down, and I even put it on my reminder. I'm like, okay, if I don't have time to do it now, I'm gonna put it in a reminder so that I can do it in like an hour or two whenever I do get the time to do it. But yeah, that's basically it. When I'm taking my body shots, take the content, take the video, post it. When I get the moment and the inspiration to do it, I just try my best to get up and do it in the moment.
I love that. And
That's my go.
yeah. And I think that's such a good piece of advice to just do it when you're thinking of it, because so often, like, we have the good idea, but then we're like, oh, I'll do that later. And then when later comes, you're busy with 20 million other things, you don't think about it. And I was about to say that when you said about you put it, you write it down, like, I'll be like driving, you guys, and like remember that I didn't text somebody back that, like, I needed to send like an actual like lengthy message to her voice message, or that I have an idea of like something I'm going to post today and I'm like driving, so I can't do it right then, right? I'll literally at a stoplight just pull up my notes, and I have like a running to-do list in my notes, and it's not like a crazy to-do list that's not attainable. Like, it's like never more than a few things at a time. That way I can get them done in a day, and I'll add it. I'll be like I'm making something up. Marcella does my lashes. So maybe she texts me about an appointment last night, and I like saw it and was like, I'll text her back in the morning. And then it's 2 o'clock and I'm picking the kids up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't done that. Like, when it comes to my mind, I'm going to pick up my phone and just do it right then. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, do that when you get home. If you think of an idea for like a post you're going to make, just like quickly jot it down real quick if you're in a situation you can't do it, because it's amazing when you write stuff down, like, you're so much more likely to do it, and you're going to feel like you have your life together, like you're getting things done actually. Because I think so often when I have coaching calls with people and they're like, I really have the best of intentions, but I'm just getting nothing done, it's because your mind's just going a million miles an hour and you're all over the place. Like, if you can set yourself up for success like that, it really does make a world of a difference. So okay, I see Anna's back. She was laying her baby down. So we're going to go to her and then we'll close out. Anna, you were also a top enroller, and I'm so excited you're able to be on. Thank you for making it happen. I know it's a tough time for you with putting kids to bed, but I would love for everyone to hear your best tips. And also, we had a coaching call, and I am so proud of you, because like, Anna's one of those people, she's just like to talk to. She's just so open and honest and real. And she was like, this is what I am really proud of, that I was doing really great. And like, this is why I signed my customers. And then this is what I know I need to work on. And I'm very aware I need to work on, and I'm going to do it this month. And I was like, I love it. So I'm really proud of you. But yeah, share what you want to share with the team. Oh, you're muted. Let's see.
Unmute. Oh,
There you
you
go.
can hear me now. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late, and my baby's still not sleeping, so I'm just, doing it with the baby. So I hear you guys talking about the mindset, so that was a big thing for me. Definitely reading listening to the audibles, the books. So the mindset. And one day I posted something, and I posted, and I realized that not everybody's gonna like you, not so just be yourself. And when I post that, I was like, oh my gosh, I read it, and you know you post it to motivate other people and inspire other people, but I kind of like got it when I posted. I was like, oh my goodness, this is like exactly what we we're just talking to Nicole the other day. So the mindset, big time. Number two would be be the product of the product, right? So if when I start taking everything, my big thing is the shakes and the lost weight products. That's what I'm going to be focusing on, because I can honestly tell people, how I feel about it, what has changed, and stuff like that. So definitely taking on the products and the body shot every day, that really helps me because I'm truly excited. I believe in the product, and I can share that with the customers, or potential customers. So these are the big two things for me. And like, you brought it up. I'm aware of me being super like shy on the reels and stuff like that, and talking to like camera, because I'm a photographer, so I'm used to be on the other side of the camera, so I'm camera shy. So that's something I definitely going to work on it. And I did two lives, and I actually have very, very positive. I have two people replying to those messages, so that's definitely a big change for me too.
I love it so much, Anna. And we talked about that a lot, about you being on the other side of the camera and how different that was, but you're doing it and you're showing up. And I love that. And one thing that I want to, bring to attention that Anna's been doing is like, even if she's not sure what to write for a post and she is going to like maybe copy some inspiration that someone else did, she's getting out there and videoing something. She's like showing up and making the content as personal as she can. And if she kind of has a mental block, she's not beating herself up about it. She's utilizing something that inspired her that someone else wrote. But like still showing up and getting what she can and like getting through that. I don't want to call it a fear because it's not that you're scared, but like that block of being the one that's being photographed.
Yes.
And you've been doing such a good job and all your stuff looks beautiful. So I'm so proud
Thank
of
you. And one more thing, I was thinking about it, like, you will never see me like with the makeup on because I have 4 kids as well and I'm just busy all over the place. But I do have 1 hour per week where I actually do my makeup, do my hair, and I take pictures. I do change my clothes for those pictures. So I think Faye maybe mentioned that as well. Like, if you feel spicy, take those pictures. And I do take my sun reaction Wednesdays. So Wednesdays are when I dress up and actually take pictures. So I have content for Sunday. So definitely when you're feeling good, take those pictures.
I love that. And that's so true. And like, I think, there's a sweet spot, we've got the done is better than perfect mentality, which is what we're talking about. Like show up even when you don't feel like you look like a beauty queen, still be consistent. But then at the same time, utilize those days that you do feel good and you did your hair and your makeup and all that, because that's going to be content that you really enjoy getting. And if you can get some content that you batch, you're going to just kind of hit that sweet spot where you got some pretty not that you're not beautiful without, but you guys know what I'm saying. You're going to have that beautiful top-notch content, and then you're going to still have the real everyday stuff that kind of flows in between. And personally, that's what I like to do. I actually, one of my friends in town's a photographer and we collaborate a lot. So she does a lot of like free photo shoots of me and the kids and stuff, because she'll need us to like model for something and then we get all the photos. And so I just got a bunch of photos back. Y'all might have seen the one I just posted of me and the kids. And that's like the first of many. There's so many photos. She probably gave me like 50 photos. So I was like, oh, great. These are ones I'm going to use on days when like the day gets away from me and I'm like, okay, it's time to make an opportunity post and like, it's dark. I'm not going to go take a picture right now. I'm going to use those, but then I'm still going to make sure that on other days I'm showing up and like taking fresh photos that are, even if I like today, y'all see me posted about sunray after the Zoom. I looked like this. I have no makeup on, but I went outside and the sun was starting to set and I had, Joe take a picture of me holding a box of sunray, a couple of different pictures so I could make a little carousel on Instagram, and that's gonna be my post tonight. And I was totally fine that I didn't have any makeup on because it's fine. Like people, like, like you've heard us all talk about, people don't care. They're following you because they like to follow you. They don't care if some days you have makeup on and some days you don't have anything on. So, okay. So I'm going to stop the recording in a second. I'm going to let Netta share something that's not related to this Zoom. So I'm gonna stop the recording since this is going on YouTube. I did just want to say I am so grateful for all of you who were able to get on. Love everyone's tips so much. I'm so proud of each of you, and I cannot wait to see what happens in April. And what kind of tips we're going to be giving in May, because we're going to have even more people join. And I know that we're going to take these tips and implement them, but then we're going to have even more that we learn and grow from, and going to be able to share even more goodness next month. So I'm going to stop the recording, but don't hop off. Let's see.